welcome to What the Flick. Oh, I'm not Alonzo. I'm in for him today as he is at Sundance enjoying how cold it is. We're going to talk about girls today. We're here. I'm Brett, Anna, Bree. We have a clip from Girls. Let's watch this episode called, what is it? I forget. I'll have it after the break.
What have you heard from Adam? Have you talked to him?
No, not really.
This interview was super informative and fun.
It was so fun. I feel like we're totally describing drinks.
Totally.
You guys, how great are they?
Seriously? Goosebumps.
I'm not the mistress.
You are 1,000% the mistress.
This is your summons?
No.
Man, stop! You're under arrest. You keep still.
All right, so that's the episode. It's called Female Author. See, I promise you I'd figure it out. There's a lot happening in this episode. We join it to see Elijah and Hannah in the same room. And during that scene, it seems like Hannah has nothing to do with her life, and Elijah has a burgeoning social scene.
I love that Elijah just lives with her now.
Yeah.
I thought he just came down to visit, but no, he's like staying there for a while.
Yeah, is this a surprise to anybody?
I don't think you should be surprised by anything in this show, right? Like, a lot of unexpected things happen, and so you just kind of go with it. But I think it's great that Elijah's there living with her. I think it'll make the storyline a lot more interesting because Hannah in Iowa by herself, for me personally, wasn't that entertaining. And so having him there is great, especially considering the fact that he's just crazy.
Right.
And he's very unapologetic for being so.
It's a fantastic counterpoint. I think this was absolutely they're the foils of each other.
Yeah.
Somehow they're friends, and I don't know. I mean, I get why Hannah has Elijah around. Elijah seems to be the kind of person that will bring a social vibe to anything you do.
Yep.
Why does Elijah have Hannah? Why does that work?
I think because when he's around her, she makes him feel like he's better than everything. I mean, that's at least the vibe that I get from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, there's a certain aspect of shitting on people that I think they both are really good at in their own specific way.
Yeah.
And so we see him. He's going out. He's got names of people that he's dropping. She has nothing that's going on for her. And then we go off to the party. They're at the party and or they're drinking and everything. And he's jumping around. Now, do you identify with Elijah? Do you guys do this at parties?
Oh my God, yes.
You do that?
Okay, he by far had the most quotable moments of his character on the show in this episode with the whole, I was taking selfies, but then I got really bored and I decided to just turn the camera around. And it was I was just laughing so hard. There were so many really wonderful moments that he had, and just taking the pictures of people and
I just love his nonchalant attitude, like, especially because in this episode you see that Hannah is really trying to grapple with what she wants to do with her life. Like, I think you said in the last review that we did, Hannah likes the idea of being a writer, but she doesn't.
Was Alonzo,
or it might have been Alonzo. Sorry. She likes the idea of being a writer, but doesn't seem like she really wants to be a writer. And so she's going through this weird identity crisis, and she's trying to explain it to Elijah. And Elijah's basically telling her, like, fuck it. You know, like, I went through something similar, and then I just kind of, like, didn't care about it anymore, and I let it go, and it was a big relief.
Right, but that said, like, she has great ideas.
Yeah.
I feel like Hannah has great ideas, and this episode really captured it. I definitely remembered exactly, and the reason I know that Alonzo said it is because I remember it too,
Right.
and it completely colored the way that I watched this episode. For me, I'm like, oh, wow, now I know if I think Hannah doesn't like being a writer, or she doesn't like writing, she likes being a writer, and so she's in this pre-writing phase and everything. It just unlocks so much for me.
Yeah.
I think the best part of this episode was when Hannah just unleashed on all the other writers. And it was like, I was sitting at the edge of my seat, like screaming at the TV, like, yes, you fucking tell them. Because those guys were such assholes. And look, I thought her piece was great. You know what I mean? And everyone was so judgy and so terrible to her. And she didn't get an opportunity to defend herself. And in that case, she finally like turned it around on them and said, listen, dude, everyone agrees with you, but you suck. And listen, lady, like, you have some serious deep-rooted issues. You should take these types of medications. Like, it was hilarious. And it was also, I don't know, it was a relief for me to see her do that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been pigeonholed?
Of course.
As what? What do you get pigeonholed as?
I get pigeonholed as, like, the light news, like, fluffy girl that's here to be cute.
And how do you respond to it?
By ignoring it at this point and doing stories that I genuinely think are interesting and not really caring about what other people think.
How about you? Do you get pigeonholed?
Oh yeah.
As what?
Everything I try to do, I get pigeonholed as it until I say, but I'm more than that. And then I have to break free of whatever it is.
And so like confronting it, is that what you do? Or do you think watching this would affect the way that you would respond to being pigeonholed?
I mean, yeah, you want so badly to ignore it, but it's so difficult because you've put so much work into this image crafting thing. And it's like, I just want to be myself, but I don't want to give that to you.
Yeah.
You know what you mean? You know what I mean? Because I don't know, what we do is different. It's like, we're not in a class, we're online. You know what I mean? We're not in a writing group.
Right.
Like we're constantly berated by bullies.
Yeah, by random nameless, faceless people on the internet that feel really good about themselves when they're talking shit about other people.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think, I don't feel like I ever got pigeonholed when I was in school, but I would like to think, and I might be wrong about this, that my reaction would be similar to what Hannah did in that party, right? Like, I think I would stand up for myself and I'd be like, listen, dude, like, you think you're the shit, but in reality, you suck, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now, what effect do you think this is going to have on Hannah now that she's called everybody out? Do you think it's going to change the dynamic going forward, or do you think it's just going to slide back into where it was?
My prediction is that was the last episode in Iowa.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's going to leave now.
You think she's going to abandon it?
Yeah.
Huh. Why?
Because nobody's on her team.
So, and do you think that's just reflective of like who Hannah is as a character, that she's a cutter and a runner?
Yeah.
Or do you think that, and so that's your answer?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
She tends to do that.
I think the foreshadowing in the episode was when she just basically made it very obvious that she's not much of a writer. That she has a class once a week and then she has all this free time, and that she would rather be in this pre-writing phase as opposed to someone who sits down and just starts writing.
Right.
She doesn't really like it. Like, if you're passionate about something, you start working on it immediately. Like, you can't get enough of it. But she seems to be putting it off, and I don't know if it's because of a fear of failure or if it's because she just genuinely doesn't want to be a writer.
I think it's a fear of criticism and rejection. And I mean, I can definitely relate to it because I know how badly I love to write, but sometimes I'm just so in my head about it that I just can't do it. And it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, I feel that it's not necessarily of rejection. Whenever I have like a block like that, it has nothing to do with what other people are thinking. It's whether I think I'm any good at it.
Sure, exactly.
I think, and maybe I'm just projecting on it, but I think that's her just being like, listen, I think she thinks that everything that happens that's good from her happens in the moment. And at least that's proven by what your favorite part and my favorite part of the episode too was, which is just if she lets it go, it's gonna be better than anything she can sit down and craft. That said, I did like when she was reading her passage in the video. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, I think that moving forward, maybe she will cut and run, or maybe they'll just fast forward till a point like far after she's left.
Right.
And we'll get filled back in. Now, there was a B story to this.
There was.
The B story is A and J, Adam and JEssa. Now, Adam and JEssa have a run-in with the law.
Yes.
JEssa at the beginning of the episode is doing a lot of Pilates exercises, and her butt does look good. She was right. It's very, very good. But aside from that, Adam and JEssa go to AA meetings together, and so they're able to have open communication, more or less, about what's going on in each other's life. And we find out that Adam kind of is seeing somebody.
Right.
JEssa is then...
It's more of Adam's friend than Hannah's friend.
Yeah.
That's what we find out.
So what about that? Did anyone else feel like this weird touchy thing where like maybe
Yes.
these two are going to do it right now?
Oh, 100%. I assumed that they were going to hook up by the end of the episode, and I'm still convinced, even though they didn't, I'm convinced that at some point they will, and it'll be at some point soon. I could be wrong about that, but it's just like the vibe that I got. And, you know, there was this moment where Adam seemed to give up on JEssa because she's urinating in the street. She's about to get a citation for it, and then she kind of resists the officer's attempts to give her a citation, and then she gets arrested. And Adam gets arrested for trying to defend her. And when they get out of, the police station or whatever, Adam's just like, dude, you're manipulative, you're terrible, I don't like you. He didn't say I don't like you, but he implied it. I don't want to be your friend anymore. And then there was this moment where JEssa was like, I need you to be my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn, I think there's more to this than her just wanting a friend. I think she does want a friend, but there's something else. I think that Adam is a dysfunctional person, and I think she's drawn to that.
Yes. For me, when I watched it and she did that, I couldn't tell whether this was the true side of JEssa, where she's really letting her guard down, or if this is the truest of exactly what Adam was talking about.
Right.
Like, does she
She's
turn on the
manipulative.
waterworks?
Yeah.
She definitely manipulated him, and I really like how he played that situation where he didn't turn around, didn't stop and turn around. He did like this weird circular turn where like, oh my God, I have to go, but I don't want to come right back to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you think? Is Adam going to eventually hook up with JEssa or what?
Yeah.
I hope not. I feel like you can have friends and it doesn't lead to sex. I feel like Adam, maybe JEssa would try, but I don't think Adam's gonna go for it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think he still truly does love Hannah. I don't think he would ever do that to Hannah. I think seeing somebody else, a stranger, he would do, yeah, but not JEssa. There's something about it. And you already have Marne hooking up with Ray again in the episode, which, by the way, Ray was so adorable in this episode. I just wanted to kiss him.
With Adam, I feel like Adam has this moral compass. Ray seems to have a better one.
Yeah.
In this. I mean, and I think his moral compass is like, I just told Marne that she's not in a relationship with this guy, so I'm free and clear to do this. And total textbook Marne. I love when they keep executing this thing. I said it earlier in one of the episodes that we were talking about, where like, I'm still okay with Marne being Marne. I want to see that over and over again. And I was like, when Ray was complimenting her, and that's all she's looking for, is that kind of validation.
Yeah, I love Marne being Marne, but she gets way too much time. That character gets way too much time on screen, and I'm so over the singing thing with her. I just let Shoshana come out more, because that scene with the job interview
was
my favorite scene in this episode,
Yeah.
and I just want more from her all the time. More Shoshana.
It was so great. Shoshana's insane, but
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get more. If you guys want more from us, we have other episodes that we've uploaded, and we will see you next week. Thank you, guys.